Have you ever had a hamburger?
Well, of course not. It's a disgusting American food.
After our first few incarnations, you let us know about other questionable foods that should probably never be spoken of. So here you go, 10 more American foods that should be banned. Spray cheese.
What do you think is coursing through my veins right now?
Cheese whiz?
We all know that the cheese capital of the United States is Wisconsin. They claim to be true cheese connoisseurs. So how is it that spray cheese was produced in Wisconsin early on, since it is probably the furthest thing from real cheese there is? Not only does it contain no real cheese, but it's also really harmful to your body. Wired once called spray cheese one of the world's most unnatural foods, and it rightfully owns up to the name.
That's not natural.
Spray cheese contains twice the amount of salt that normal cheese does, but this one comes with a little bonus: a bunch of chemicals that should never ever be consumed by any living person.
Canned cheese? Made with 12% real cheese.
Yet here we are, spraying that stuff on crackers and making leaning towers of cheese. Basically, anything delivered from a pressurized can should not be on your grocery list ever. Maybe it's time the FDA takes a new look at this fake cheese wannabe and puts a stop to the madness. Brain sandwiches.
It's too thin if I were making a foot-long brain sandwich at Quiznos.
Ever heard of the expression brain food? Well, unfortunately, no, eating this very peculiar meal will not make you smarter. Brain sandwiches, not a euphemism by the way, are surprisingly very popular in the United States, specifically in Indiana. They used to be made with cow brain, but thanks to mad cow disease, it was switched to pig brain, which, to be fair, doesn't sound any more appealing.
I think I'll pass.
The pig brains are breaded, then fried, before usually being served with some mustard in between two buns, because we all know that mustard can make just about anything at least palatable. Brain sandwiches are most popular down around the southern tip of the state, in and around Evansville, where the Hilltop Inn is one of the most celebrated curators of this delicacy.
You like zombies? Zombies eat brains.
Despite the very bizarre nature of this dish, it's still somehow very popular and has its fair share of dedicated fans. Believe it or not, there is actually a proper way to cook the brain to ensure it's at its best. For example, you need to make sure you have really cold hands when you handle it to ensure that it doesn't end up, melting away. Gator Tails.
See you later, alligator?
When most people think about alligators, their first instinct is to be scared, or to feel some type of fear, basically anything except hunger, unless you're from Florida. Then you eat these things as appetizers like they're mozzarella sticks. If there's one thing about Florida, it's that the gators run around like they own the place. In backyards, golf courses, they're found practically everywhere.
Sure, make yourself at home.
This occurrence could offer up some explanation for the residents' predilection for gator tails. The Sunshine State abounds with hot food destinations, and gator tails have their very own spot on many local restaurants' menus. In fact, many Southerners actually fry up the tails and eat them as casual snacks. So, if you ever go on a picnic, it's the perfect way to warn the live alligators in the area to stay away from your basket. Floridians stick these in stews, mash them into burgers, eat them with gator ribs, and the list goes on. Much like any exotic meat, it supposedly tastes just like chicken.
Tastes like chicken.
Yes, this cold-blooded killing machine tastes like rubbery, succulent chicken. Also, the lean, white-colored meat is so high in protein and low in fat content that it's regarded as a healthy food. Who would have thought? Avocado pie.
Avocado? I don't know how to pick out an avocado.
In recent years, there's been this whole wave of sudden appreciation for avocado in all forms. Avocado toast, in particular, has seen some new heights of popularity and has become the ultimate Instagrammable meal. However, it looks like there might be a new kid in town that's trying to dethrone the popular avocado toast.
Another day,
another avocado toast.
In case you didn't know, there is such a thing as an avocado pie, and it's a Californian creation through and through. At first sight, the avocado pie looks like a classic key lime pie with its bright neon green and fluffy texture. But as soon as you take your first bite, all the similarities disappear. Oh, except that it also usually comes on a graham crust.
You said it was a key lime pie.
Many people have their very own recipe for avocado pie, which is a little odd because how many ways are there to make mashed avocado and pie crust taste good? The most frequently used ingredients, however, include avocados, obviously, whipped cream, and sweetened condensed milk. Okay, when you say it like that, it doesn't sound so bad. You might even think you'd like to try it out, just to see what a whipped avocado guacamole-style pie would taste like. If that's the case, you must have a tremendous love of avocados. Chitterlings.
Chitlins! That's pig intestines for y'all that don't know.
Chitterlings, also known as chitlins, are, how to put this delicately, a culinary dish usually made from the large intestines of a hog. In a way, it shouldn't bother us too much. After all, we eat intestines all the time in our hot dogs, right?
My hot dog!
The only difference is, with a hot dog, you don't see the parts you're eating. You can pretend like it's just regular mystery meat and keep on eating carefree. But with chitterlings, the intestines are right there, in your face, boiled or fried without any disguise. It's not only hog intestines, though. Sometimes the intestines of cattle and other animals are also used. This dish is popular in the South, but especially in South Carolina. They have an annual Chitlin Strut, which is dedicated to promoting the goodness of chitterlings. They want people to love these so badly, they put on a whole festival in their honor, complete with a beauty pageant.
The prettiest pig beauty pageant has been replaced by a pork rib barbecue competition.
Chitterlings are said to be more tender than bacon, and the taste is supposed to be comparable with nothing else. Maybe that's a good thing, or maybe it's not. Turducken.
Like a turducken.
A poultry within a poultry. It's like Inception with meats.
This one is such an American thing. Only in America would you find a massive and slightly impressive creation like this one. Turducken is the perfect Thanksgiving dinner to impress or scare off your guests. And it's quite simple to prepare, too. All you need is a deboned chicken. Oh, and a deboned duck, and a deboned turkey. Then you just have to stuff the entire chicken into the duck and later stuff it into the turkey, add some stuffing between each layer, and voila! You have got yourself 3 layers of bird all in one convenient bite.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Not sure if this is genius or concerning, but the point is, it's scary as heck. It's supposed to be unusual, wonderful, and have great taste. We can certainly agree on the unusual part. It also turns out that the origins of the turducken are nearly as complicated as the dish itself. No one seems to agree on who came up with it first. Maybe whoever did doesn't want to take the blame for this giant Frankenbird.
It was him! He did it!
Some say that it was Chef Paul Prudhomme who invented the dish. Others claim it's Dr. Gerald R. Lanassa, a surgeon from New Orleans, who should be credited. Well, whoever's brilliant idea it was to combine not 1, not 2, but 3 birds together. It's okay. We don't really need to know. Clam Pizza.
Can I please eat my ham and clam pizza in peace?
That's wrong. Those toppings are wrong.
Pizza. It's such a hard thing to mess up. No matter how you prepare it, it seems to always be delicious. Well, to a certain degree. Remember when you thought anchovies were the worst possible thing you could ever put on your pizza? Then everybody started hating on pineapple.
He had his first heart attack when he saw pineapple on a pizza.
Now, clams are the new victim of pizza shaming. Some people believe that pizza should be minimalist, and others, especially those living in New Haven, Connecticut, think putting loads of clams on a pizza is the best way to go. That's right, these naked, slippery, slug-like mollusks that kind of look like aliens are part of the classic dish over there, and it has been praised pretty heavily. Okay, clams by themselves are pretty good. Pizza obviously does pretty well in the tasty department, but when they're joined together on a warm, white-sauced pie, something just seems a little off. It's more likely you'll end up with a white-hot mess than a presentable meal. Let's just say the chances of this becoming your new go-to pizza favorite are pretty slim.
It's probably best just to stick with the classic.
Sometimes you've just got to stick to the good old classic toppings and leave the seafood where it belongs, in the ocean. But as weird and unappetizing as clam pizza sounds, people still go crazy for the stuff. Why? No clue, but we don't intend to find out. Nutria.
Rodent. Yum.
When you think about foods that look a bit controversial to eat, what do you think about? Perhaps frog's legs or maybe chicken hearts? Well, forget everything you know about ambiguous eating because Nutria takes the cake every time. Think about it. How would you feel about eating what's best described as a large, semi-aquatic river rat boiled in a crock pot for 4 hours?
No. No, no, no. No!
Yeah, probably not high on your list of must-haves, but in Louisiana, it's a delicacy, a bayou classic even. It might be a little off-putting to think about eating a large rodent like that, but apparently it tastes just like chicken, or almost. Apparently, it's a rougher, tougher version of chicken. The nutria, or the giant river rat, is an animal native to South America, introduced to the U.S. in the early 1900s, whose population growth is kind of hard to control. The solution? Why not eat them?
Oh, God! What? I could eat.
Well, here's why not. It's an enormous, terrifying orange-toothed water beast that not everyone can stomach. Obviously, back when it was first cooked, people simply used what they had to get by. But today, there are about 100 other options that come to mind before eating nutria. No amount of Cajun spice in the world will ever be enough to erase those nightmare-fueling teeth from our minds. Burgoo.
Maybe stew. Stew?
To be fair, this meal can actually be quite tasty and politically correct. It just depends on what you decide to make it with. Burgoo is a stew usually prepared communally at social gatherings in the Midwest and South, especially in Kentucky. It's the basis for civic fundraisers and the go-to dish when you have tons of leftovers. There are a lot of different ways to prepare burgoo, but the traditional one is made using venison or mutton. However, it's not always this straightforward. Burgoo also has a pretty cynical nickname that it also goes by, and it's entirely accurate. It's often referred to as roadkill soup because, more often than not, you have no idea what's actually in your stew.
I'd rather be roadkill. That can be arranged.
It could contain anything from squirrel, raccoon, and even possum. Basically any kind of animals available mixed in with your vegetables. Sure, eating those types of small animals makes sense in a case of emergency, but why use them when you have so many other options not found on the side of the road? Despite its previous rather booming reputation, burgoo is slowly declining in popularity, most likely due to health warnings. Kentucky's traditional roadkill dish is now being made more and more often with chicken and pork.
But all of us love chicken.
Saying goodbye to the critters. St. Paul Sandwich.
You've had your last egg sandwich.
The St. Paul sandwich looks pretty harmless at first, but when you take a closer look, it's all kinds of weird. Available in American Chinese restaurants in the St. Louis area of Missouri, the St. Paul sandwich has all of the basics of a sandwich: pickles, onions, mayo, lettuce, and tomato, all in between 2 slices of white bread.
You got a sandwich!
The part we're not so sure about is the big piece of egg foo young among all of this. For those who don't know, egg foo young is an omelet dish found in Chinese cuisine. Legend has it that the St. Paul sandwich was invented by a Chinese-American chef in the city who wanted to please Midwestern palates in the 1940s and named it after his hometown. While it may not sound like the most appetizing dish out there, most critiques have been surprisingly positive. For the people of St. Louis, this sandwich is one of their signature dishes, and they take great pride in it.
This place makes the best sandwich in the world.
Not so sure this one will become the next big thing anywhere else, mind you, but you never really know. Stick around, leave us a comment, hit that like button, and tap or click on another great video.